Hey everybody, it's me, Peter, and today we're going to be talking about Moonlight.
What you looking at me like that for? What, man? Come on, you just drove down here? Yeah.
Now, Moonlight was a really good film. It was a really well-made film, a really interesting use of color in this film, and not in the same way that La La Land used color. La La Land more used just general colors as a way of conveying an idea. Moonlight used specific colors in order to convey specific ideas or specific feelings. Mostly blue and red, calm and rage, water and blood. And the reason why I say that is because they use water in the same way that they use blue throughout the film. The main character, Chiron, is often surrounded by water or next to the ocean or engulfed in blue lighting whenever he's being comforted, whenever he's surrounded by love. And likewise with the color red, he's usually surrounded by rage, he's surrounded by hate. And real quick, I want to talk about the cinematography in this film. Now, admittedly, my understanding of cinematography is pretty basic, but let me try and explain my basic understanding of white balance. White balance is a camera's ability to process a limited range of colors and brightness within a single frame. For instance, let's say that there's people wearing two different colored jumpsuits. One is wearing a navy blue jumpsuit, and the other one's wearing a bright white jumpsuit. These two extremes might not fall within the limited range in which the camera is able to process the colors. And so if it's catching all of the detail in the white jumpsuit, then the detail may be missing in the navy blue jumpsuit, and it may even look like a black jumpsuit. It gets kind of silhouetted. The detail gets washed out. But if the camera is catching all the detail in the navy blue jumpsuit, then all the detail in the white jumpsuit gets kind of washed out, and it looks so bright that it may even look like it's glowing. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because Moonlight has a lot of very bright white backgrounds throughout the film, either walls or the sun, and it's very difficult to have such bright white backgrounds without silhouetting everything in the foreground. The fact that they had so many bright backgrounds and were able to maintain so much detail in the foreground is actually really impressive. And so while my understanding of cinematography is pretty basic, I was still really impressed with the director of photography. He must have done a really amazing job and able to make this film look the way that it looked. Mahershala Ali and Naomi Harris are both up for a supporting role. Neither one of them have very much screen time, but they both do take you on quite the journey for the amount of time that they actually spend on screen. They did a fantastic job, and I think that both of their nominations are well deserved. Now, I do want to make a quick note that there are 3 actors in this film who portray the main character, Chiron. What I heard was that the director made an effort to make sure that these actors never met each other because he didn't want them to imitate each other. So he was actually able to get all 3 of them to act like the same person, in spite of the fact that they never actually met each other, which I thought was pretty cool. The film as a whole was really well done. It was very well made. It was heartwarming. It was heartbreaking. It was just a story of a good person, a good person who was given a lot of really bad breaks, and he's just trying to do the best that he can. All in all, I think, I'm not sure how I would rate the film, but I would say that I thought it was better than Manchester by the Sea. Now, really quick, I do want to get into the spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the movie yet, I suggest checking out the movie first before checking out the rest of this review. So I want to talk about the use of the colors blue and red and how I compared them to water and blood. This film is broken up into 3 parts, and it is the 3-act story structure, the 3-act plot structure, but it doesn't feel like it. It feels like 3 chapters in somebody's life, and it's broken up as 3 chapters. It's broken up as him as a child, him as a teenager, and him as an adult. And in this journey, in the first 2 chapters, there are 2 kind of symbolic baptisms that happen. The first one happens in the first chapter. He's a child, and Mahershala Ali becomes kind of a role model and a father figure to him, and there's a scene where he's teaching him how to swim in the ocean. He's comforted by the water, he's cared for by Mahershala Ali's character, and he trusts him. He's being taught how to float on his back, and he's being cradled while he's trying to learn how to float. And this, I believe, is the first symbolic baptism in his life. a baptism through love, a baptism from water. The second scene happens in the second chapter. Chiron is gay, and he finds out that his childhood friend Kevin is also gay, and they share a moment with each other on the beach, next to the ocean, next to the water. Chiron feels loved and accepted. This is quickly torn away from him when Kevin is pressured by other kids to beat Chiron up. Kevin punches Chiron in the face, and Chiron, hurt and betrayed, keeps standing up, forcing Kevin to hit him over and over again. Shortly afterward, his face is all beaten up, it's cut and bruised and bleeding, and he dunks his face into some iced water. This, I believe, was the second symbolic baptismal scene. A baptism born out of hate. A baptism from blood. Now, real quick, I want to mention in this chapter, there's a scene where he gets fed up with the guy who's been bullying him, and he grabs a chair and just kind of sucker punches him with it, just hits him over the head with the chair, and he gets arrested for it because you can't attack somebody with a chair. But it's so satisfying. It's it's so satisfying when he finally does it. It's like, yes, like I really wanted that guy to get hit with the chair. And the third chapter is Chiron as an adult, the result of his first two baptisms. One from love and one from hate. One from water and one from blood. Chiron's exercised a lot, he's bulked up, he's gotten to be kind of a tough guy, he has a reputation now, and he meets up with Kevin, his childhood friend who beat him up shortly after they shared a moment with each other on the beach. Kevin basically calls him out for wearing these fronts. He has the gold teeth, he has this whole little persona going on, and he's like, this isn't what I expected, this isn't who I remember. The man that Chiron becomes is born of the two baptisms. It's the man that he thinks that he needs to be because of all of the hate in the world, and the man that he really wants to be because of all the love that he wishes he had. And he divulges that basically the last time he ever felt loved was with Kevin. And so Kevin, who maybe needs a little redemption for what he's done, opens up to comfort Chiron. And then cuts to that last scene. Chiron, as a boy, looking out into the ocean, engulfed in blue light. So all in all, it was a really beautiful movie. I think that the music was fantastic in it. It had a really beautiful score, very appropriate for the emotion that you feel in this film. I think that's all I have to say about Moonlight, but what did you think of Moonlight? Let me know in the comments, and if you liked my video, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.